Oh, baby,
Hey y'all, what's up? It's T&D and welcome to yet another episode of T&D Won't Shut Up,
where we discuss and debate relationship topics from a healthy couple's perspective.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly discussions and share with a friend or two.
Or three.
Or four.
All right, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing really good, baby. I am feeling so good off this drink.
That's good.
How are you doing, baby love?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying the weekend. Getting ready for the AFC and NFC championship tomorrow. Really excited about that. And of course, happy that we are recording an episode the day after it aired, which is something that we've been shooting for.
Finally. Hopefully we can get it posted tonight, too.
Yes. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yes, but yeah, we're having a really good week, right?
Yep.
We went out last night, danced the night away, so that was fun.
That was a great time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what are we discussing today, honey?
So today we are discussing season 8, episode 46.
That's what it said.
At least that's what it said. But no, actually we're discussing season 9, episode 3, Finger Licking Good.
That was so funny because we went to look for the episode yesterday and it said season 8, 46, and I know it had to be it because I know there's no episode 46. So I was like, this kind of stands out. So I clicked on it and lo and behold, we were able to watch the show. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started, babe. Oh my gosh, this was an amazing episode, y'all. It was too much. These men were not menning, okay?
Yes.
And last week we discussed who we thought would have gone home. The first episode, if they were eliminating women, we said we thought April should have went home, and she went home. So, what do you think about April going home, honey?
We expected her to go home.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've been spot on right now.
Yeah. We need to start placing a bet on this.
We do.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this episode. This episode starts off at the brunch where the singles from episode 1 and the singles from episode 2 get together and meet up for the first time. What do you think, babe?
I thought it was cool. Definitely a lot of people. We're talking 16 people, all mixing and mingling. Of course, you get a new set of women and men, so everybody's kind of in awe a little bit. I think that was obvious.
Yeah.
And
I didn't think the women looked excited for some reason. The men looked like they were excited. The women to me felt like I didn't see any excitement in their face.
I agree.
But yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it had a little bit of drama. It had some connections. It had some instant non-connections. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one thing I did notice is that Lamar tried to kiss April on the cheek.
Yeah, so that was the first couple that kind of had an interaction, or at least what they showed. Yeah, what did you think about that?
See, I don't, first of all, I'm from Florida, and I'm also Caribbean, and I don't have a problem with kissing somebody on the cheek. I don't think it's inappropriate. I actually think I'm totally okay with it. I don't feel like he was grabbing her butt and kissing her on her cheek or touching her in a sexual manner and kissing her on her cheek. So I didn't have a problem with it, but I don't know what we didn't see. From what I saw, all I see was he tried to give her a kiss on the cheek, and she was like, no.
Yeah.
What did you think, baby?
So, I think it could have been more than just first of all, so with the kiss on the cheek thing, I'm a person that, anybody that I've made acquaintance with, for the most part, you're getting a kiss on the cheek, female-wise. I think in his case, it's kind of the way he went about it. It was from the side as opposed to, when you greet somebody, face to face, you kind of, I don't know. He doesn't know this woman. Okay, they're strangers.
I know, but
and the way he went about the side kiss, I think had he walked up to her face to face, gave her a little hug, kiss, that's more of a traditional greeting. This is like you coming up on a girl from the side. Girls are like, whoa, whoa. It's a very common response for women to like feel something from a certain angle, you're like, whoa, 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 and you back off a little bit. And I think that's what it was. And what we don't know is if he was actually rubbing on her side with anything. We don't know that either, because that's one of the things that I thought. I'm like, okay, I could see that he's kissing her from the side, but is his thighs touching her thigh? Is something else touching her thigh? bottom line is when Lamar did that, I wasn't even surprised. This is consistent with the Lamar that I'm already getting to know at this point.
And April didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
She really did. It made her very uncomfortable, I will say that. Yes. From what I saw on TV, I did not have an issue with it. But I can understand the side versus coming from the front. It's just a little different. So I do understand that, and I agree, baby.
Right. Should we jump to their little date situation since we're on the topic?
Yeah, go ahead, baby.
All right, so, obviously April, educated. She kind of pointed out her credentials. I think she's working on a doctorate or has a doctorate.
Baby, you didn't tell her to say her name right. Her name is April Michelle Butler, baby. We're not calling her April no more.
Yes,
April Michelle Butler.
Miss Butler.
Dr. April Michelle Butler.
Yes. Yeah, so she's educated. Usually education means, a little bit more, let's just say mature in areas, informative. And so therefore you're probably going to have some probing questions, engage a little deeper, have a little bit more substance. And I think that became evident in the conversation she had with Lamar. Lamar, he's the kind of guy that I feel like, the minute you start digging deep, you start asking all these questions, I think a guard's going to come up with him, whether it be because he's not comfortable or he feels like he's no longer in control of the conversation. I mean, there could be a host of reasons why he would not be receptive to that type of approach. But anyway, it became evident that he wasn't comfortable with that.
I don't understand why he wasn't comfortable. I don't feel like her questions were... I think those are valid questions. It's you trying to get to know someone. But I will say, I don't think he was attracted to April. And that's probably why he was so short with her. And he may have felt some type of way when, with their first interaction, when he tried to kiss her on her cheek. And she was like, back up, And then it's just consistent with the whole, I'm a doctor, I went to here, and just kind of throwing out credentials. So she probably felt like she might be a little... uppity or so
it can come off that way. Absolutely.
So she seemed like she was kind of leading with her credentials, to be honest, for him to go to confessionals, and he's kind of like, oh, I don't care what you do. He was saying that in confessionals, like, I don't care what you do. So I don't think he liked April at all, and that's the reason why he was not willing to answer those questions. But he's also a walking red flag for obvious reasons if you watch the show, and also he been married twice and divorced twice with no kids. And he still wants kids. And he's like, although he looks 50-something, he's 42.
Yeah. And, but what I will say is that, April, although she was asking some good questions, she really started going interview style with her questions. Yes, and I don't think anyone really appreciates that form of questioning when you're going on a date. I'm all for answering questions, but not back to back. It's like, let's have a dialogue, a back and forth dialogue where I can ask some questions as well.
Right.
The other thing I noted was Lamar specifically didn't answer the question that she had about the last relationship and why it ended or something.
No, she said, how long were you in it? He didn't
or how long were you? But now I don't know if he didn't want to answer that because it was so short and he felt like there was an issue with it, or because he already checked out with the whole date situation.
I don't care if you checked out. At the end of the day, she's not being rude. She's not being disrespectful. Just answer the question and keep it moving. Yeah. Like, that wasn't warranted. But I will say, April also had an attitude as well. Because when he said, I don't know who started with the attitude. But when she was asking him questions, he was like, next. Answer next. And next. Like, it was kind of rude.
It was.
And then he was like, why did you ask? And she said, because I can. And I was like, The whole dialogue, they should just... abort mission.
They're not a match.
At all. Abort mission.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're done. All right, so moving on, I think the next interaction, there was a couple different interactions, but we're just kind of addressing the ones that were significant within the mixer. It was Maya and William. So what did you think of Maya and William?
I was surprised that Maya's even attracted to him or even considering him. They seem to be connecting. I will say that.
Why are you surprised?
He's not attractive at all. Just because of the attraction. But I will say, William was Williaming this episode. He actually did very well. actually impressive. To kind of tilted my head the other way. And I was like, wait, hold on. But he's not attractive. I just couldn't get past that, to be honest. But what you think, babe?
So I just observed that William was, and this is his words, mind blown.
Yeah.
When he saw Maya. And Maya's bad. I think we said that she was kind of number 2, in our opinion, on the list, right?
I said she's best all around, so I give her number 1. In the second episode, Maya to me was the best all around.
Okay.
In the first episode, I said Alexis was the best all around. So yeah. She's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I really think Le'Lyn is actually very, very beautiful. Right. But when it comes to best all around, Maya takes the trophy.
Yeah. And the only other observation I had was that Maya, stated that she really appreciated the openness that William has.
Yeah.
So I think, the little that they shown there, I think that's a good start, good connection. We'll have to see where that goes.
Baby, you know what threw me off, babe? Will and Vanessa. Will saw Vanessa. Vanessa's beautiful. And he said Vanessa in the purple looked like Barney in the weight room. First of all, isn't Barney a guy?
Yes, Barney's a big, heavy set, character. For kids.
I don't even know why he would find an attraction to Barney. The whole thing was kind of weird to me, and I'm like, ooh, abort mission. That was kind of weird. What do you think, babe?
Same thing, and it's very consistent with who he is.
Yeah.
And just blurting stuff out in this overconfident way. So I don't see that going anywhere, to be honest.
I don't either. I don't think she really liked him anyways. But right. And he also had another knit shirt on that he like his grandma.
This is his thing.
I think that is his thing. I mean, if it's hot, then all the little holes in the knit, I guess, is fitting. Yeah, but
all right. So next we had Jonathan, Mika, and April sitting at a table.
Jonathan seems so uncomfortable with that conversation, and I'm trying to figure out why. What was your thoughts on that?
So I think, of course, Mika, she's a very attractive woman. So any man right out the gate is gonna kind of step back and give some credence to what this woman might bring to the table. Mm-hmm. It's like she's afforded an opportunity to kind of start talking and show who she is in a way that other women may not get the opportunity to do so. And I think he did that. I think he even complimented her and everything. But then as the dialogue progressed, and to give credit to Jonathan, I feel like he, the guy can articulate himself well. It seems like he's a little well-versed. Mika, the verdict is still out for that. I don't know. We're going to have to see as this progresses how deep she can get.
Yeah, she seemed a little surface hood vibes.
She does. And so I think, she got focused specifically on the previous relationships that Jonathan has had. And look, that's all valid. I mean, we're asking questions here. We're trying to get... But I will say, you got to be careful not to get fixated on one specific topic and keep jabbing. Now, I do understand that when you start hitting the topic and people are ducking certain things, okay, you stay on that topic. Because you're like, wait, there's something to hide here or what? I'm all for that. But you just met a person. So you're going to have time to dig a little deeper with Jonathan. So play the long game here. You already found something, or you pinched the nerve. Let's just say that. Okay, let's get back on this again. But the problem is the way that she approached it, now he's going to shut down in that area. And now she's never really going to know. And then she's going to have to make assumptions, which she did, baby mama drama. We don't know that for a fact, but you could come to a better conclusion if you have more information. Unfortunately, that approach that Mika took is not going to get her that additional information.
I agree with you, but I also feel like Jonathan, it's important that when you have you're recently divorced, 2.5 years, I think he said, there is a way to answer that question that makes a woman feel confident that that situation is done. And the way he answered that kind of made me think that, wait, hold on. Is this completely finished? Is it completely done? Is this completely over? And I think it's important, as someone who's in a dating game, who's recently divorced, it's very important to make that clear that no, I will not go back. I'm not interested. I've been there, done that, and now I'm ready to move forward. Because the fact that he did not answer it with any type of confidence or any type of...
that he wasn't able to make her feel confident that relationship is done and that there's no unhealthy interaction between the two.
Exactly. And he didn't convey that at all. He actually made it seem like there was still some wiggle room for something. Although he didn't say that, it's just the answer just wasn't what most women would want to hear. And then he also said that he does get the vibes that his ex-wife is interested in getting back together. He did say that. And that can make anybody feel uncomfortable. But like you said, babe, there is a way to have that conversation. First of all, they were having a conversation with someone else at the table. And I think that's something that you want to talk maybe on the phone or when y'all together by yourself, But, put a pin in it. Yep. Stick a pin in it.
Stick a pin in it.
Yep. Yeah.
So, all right. So next up we have Dominique and Le'Lyn. So, Le'Lyn has never been married. She's 40 years old. And she said she wants a kid, but she needs to be married in order to have a kid. So there's positive and negative that I see in that. The positive is she is 40 years old, doesn't have a kid. That's probably because she hasn't met the kind of man that she felt comfortable even having a child with. And that's probably based off of the fact that she says she needs to be married in order to have a kid. So if she hasn't been married, then clearly she hasn't met the right man. Second thing is, 40 years old, you're getting up there in age. And I know if you have a lifelong dream of having a child, you're going to be pushing as long as you possibly can. But the reality is the clock is ticking. Even if she is ready to love, meets the right person now, you're looking at, 1 to 2 years minimum to make sure that this is the right person.
Yeah.
And, now you're 42, 43. So I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying, whenever I've come across women like that in my past, I'm always kind of like, I hope she's realistic with her expectations.
Right, because first of all, she's going to be on a timeline, There's a timeline associated, so that means pressure, which a lot of people don't like. In addition to that, you also have to think about the complications that comes with being, what do they call it? A high-risk pregnancy. It's really hard to conceive during that time, too. So you just kind of got to be realistic. Not that it's impossible, because it's definitely possible. We've seen it. Janet Jackson, had a baby at I think she was in her 50s. So it's possible. And I wish, if that's something that you really want to do, then I'm definitely wishing her well.
Yeah, I agree.
Wishing her luck.
Now, the incompatibility between these two is very clear. I mean, Dominique wants 2 to 10 children. All right, so this, Le'Lyn said she wants a child. Considering her age, it's going to be a lot of work to get to 10.
They're not a match.
Anything close to it. So, in my opinion, they're not a match.
They're not a match.
Yeah, I think they might be a match on the surface.
Yes.
But once you get to these specifics, I think there's incompatibility there.
So he wants a minimum of 2 kids. This lady is 40 years old. Like if we did the timeline, 2 years to get pregnant, considering complications and just the difficulty of having a child after 40, trying to conceive. So we'll say 2 years, and then he wants 2 kids. She's probably close to 45 if she even consider if they do that. And then he not get into the 10. I'm tired of that 10 crap. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't see compatibility here.
Yeah. Let it go.
Yeah.
Beautiful couple though. If they were, it's just incompatibility. But I just wanted to talk about. Are you done? Are we done talking about?
We are done. We're done with the mixer.
Wait, but I do want to talk about Dominique and Mika, because Mika again mentioned that Dominique is who she's most interested in, but Mika is also the one that does not want any more children. She has 2. And remember, Lamar dismissed her. Lamar rude as hell. But Lamar dismissed her because she didn't want any more kids, and she wants Dominique, which don't make sense because Dominique wants 2 to 10.
Yep.
That's weird to me. That's very weird. But I do feel like it is slim pickings on the men's side, on the ladies' side, because there's only a few eligible men, truth be told, because the rest of them are trash. Well, appears to be trash. But I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We'll see. All right. So in the next scene, the singles go on a bowling date. It's Jonathan, Koshia, Alexis, and Alonzo. It looked like a really cute date. The bowling alley was some fun banter. They were, the loser had to do a chicken dance. It was cute. They were a little bit flirtatious. I thought it was cute. The bowling date was super cute. What do you think, honey?
No, it seemed like a great date. Actually, it was making me think we need to get a group of friends. You know.
Yeah, remember we said we was gonna plan a couples bowling night, baby?
Yeah, we wanted to do it until we found out how much it costs.
No, how much it costs. All the couples we know broke up.
Exactly. We the last couple standing.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm sure if anybody has been bowling these days, it is not like back in the day. Bowling is more expensive than a 4-star restaurant.
You pushing it. It is expensive though.
That shit is expensive.
Yeah, because remember we went. Okay, we
don't have to keep this.
No, let's keep it.
But all jokes aside, like it is ridiculously expensive.
It is. Yeah. It's very expensive, and that doesn't even include the expensive drinks and the food. And who doesn't want food and drinks when they go out? Right. But anyways, we digress.
Sidetrack. But anyway, no. Overall, great date. Of course, there was a few sidebar opportunities. And I think the first one was between Jonathan and Koshia. So what did you think of that interaction between them?
They don't match. They're not a good match. I don't like Koshia's energy. I think Koshia's kind of a little too like mommy-ish. You think like kind of like over talking and kind of like you could tell that she's a mom and she's mommying 24/7. Like I don't like her energy. Nonetheless, the date with you said Jonathan, right?
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan asked about her love language and she went blank. Why did she draw a blank? That was kind of strange. She said her love language was quality time. And that's so easy to answer. I'm not too sure why she drew a blank. Maybe she just wasn't interested in him. But Koshia is gorgeous. Jonathan is handsome. Something threw her off, but clearly they didn't like each other.
Yeah. Same observation here. I will say, so Koshia, I don't know. I have a knack for just meeting certain women and kind of knowing that they can be maybe overly direct, a little too strong.
I put bossy. I said Koshia seems bossy.
Yes, one step away from just, changing the whole situation.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. That energy, I stay away from that, to be honest with you. And I think she has that. And Jonathan, to his credit, every time he meets a woman, talks to them for a little while, and determines that they're not it, well, he just acknowledges that they're not it and moves on.
Right.
And that's how he felt with Koshia. And I kind of respect that approach because that's actually how I would roll. It's just because why waste time? Right. This ain't your type. Yeah. We ain't got. I understand this show is a process, but you got 16 people here total. You got 8 women to choose from. Let's move on if this ain't it. So
I agree, but in this show, you have to be likable. As you can see, you want more people to vote for you at the end. So you kind of got to be strategic. Granted, he did not say it in their face that he's shutting them down, which is good.
Yeah.
But he said in confessionals that he's shutting it down. But hopefully he could still kind of keep in a conversation with them,
Yeah.
Because you don't want to shut them down because then those people are not going to vote for you at the end and you're not going to stay with the person that you like because a lot of people's going to try to vote you off.
I agree.
Yeah, but
yeah.
So, Jonathan is a straight shooter. He's like, I don't like you.
Yeah, so there's nothing there.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so next up we had Jonathan and Alexis.
Jonathan and Alexis.
Yeah,
cute couple.
Seemed to be a little connection there.
Connection was on point, but just physically they look very nice together. And like I said, Alexis has been my best all around. I think she's really good at conversation. She's really good at making everybody feels good. She's also a little flirtatious, but at the same time she's very serious. She's best all around. They started again, talk about eating toes. What is wrong with these people and eating toes or sucking toes, licking toes, nibbling on toes?
Comes up every season, couple episodes.
I'm just like, y'all just want people to eat toast so bad. But it was cute still, and it wasn't overly sexual. I actually liked the day. I thought it was cute, and I'm looking forward to see more. What'd you think, babe?
Yeah, I thought it was a great date. I think it kind of started with him asking her, something about what her Sundays look like, and how she basically said she'd like to be booed up and just kind of chilling and whatever. Everything was just, I guess, what each other wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how substantive they got, how the editing goes. It could have been a lot of surface level stuff, and that's why the connection was there. But as far as energy goes, I feel like there was a connection.
And Jonathan said He did say that he feel like it's a strong connection between them. And you know, Jonathan's a straight shooter, so if he don't like it, he gonna say it. I don't like it. Right. And he liked it.
Exactly. So I'm actually looking forward to see what this could evolve into.
Right.
The last sidebar was between Alonzo and Koshia, and it did not seem to go well.
No, Alonzo's really immature. First of all, I don't like the way he dressed. He doesn't have that grown man vibe about him. He actually have a very immature vibe. He's very jokey, and he's a no for me. I put on here Alonzo immature, and I put Koshia comes off bossy. They're not a match. Koshia needs an older guy, but she also needs to tone down the bossiness, the mommy, like she down talks people kind of, and yeah, she needs to tone that down just a little. She's gorgeous though. She's beautiful, right, baby?
She's alright.
Oh, you think she's alright?
Yeah. Oh. She's alright.
I think she's beautiful.
No. So yes, obviously Alonzo walked away from that saying pretty much the same thing that we're saying. I mean, he felt that energy. I will say he misstepped with his little pregnancy scare scenario
that was
question.
Weird.
Like, and this is the kind of weirdness that I've heard about from women when they're in the dating pool. It's like, why did he say that? Like, it's the people just come off weird. They say stuff that don't make no sense, and you just completely turned off. And I feel like that's what happened.
Yeah, that was a big turn off, and that's something that would make me shut down. Like, I could tell that she was disgusted by him after that conversation. She was totally turned off, rightfully so, because I'm like, it was not even placed. It was misplaced.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't like
Absolutely.
it.
So
I didn't like it. I don't like it.
So that pretty much concluded the bowling date and the little sidebars.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So this next scene starts off with William and his neon Air Max walking into this paint studio or paint date with it was Vanessa, it was Lamar, Patrice, and then of course Williams Thickums. I'm sorry. Anyways. So William Thickums, and what do you think about that date, baby? Overall, I thought it was really super duper cute.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go to that. Go to like an
it seemed
like
fun.
That.
It seemed
baby,
cool.
Can you find something like that?
Yes, absolutely. I like the fact that it was a spin off of like the traditional having a paintbrush and trying to paint, just using your hands. And, No, it was definitely.
It was so nice.
Yep. So,
what do you think, honey, about that date?
So anytime you got Lamar present,
Lamar is disgusting
in any of these situations. So I think one of the first things that stood out for me is he's talking to Patrice. They're having a normal conversation, and of course, it's only a matter of time before he got to say something that's sexual, out of place. And I think he said something like, or I think Patrice had asked him, "What is your love language?" And he said,
core values.
Core values. And he said was it core value? Because I think he said his quality time is touching.
Oh, maybe she did ask about the love language. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, he's disgusting.
It was just something like, damn, here you go again, bro. Now, what I will say about Patrice, no, there was actually another thing he said. So I think Patrice was talking about that she wants a man of God, this, that, and the other. So she's, kind of past that ridiculous statement and kind of still kept the conversation in a healthy place, which, by the way, that's a skill, right? The ability to have somebody just say something that's just, obnoxious or just sexual or just not even valid in any way, and then still be able to keep the conversation going. Mm-hmm. But even after she did that, then Lamar said something like, "I want to jump your bones" or something.
But he also said, I want to paint on you, touch you. Remember he said something like that? Like, I want to put hands on you or touch you or something like that. She's like, I don't want to be the canvas. He's like, you be the canvas.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, it was just, everything about him is just disgusting and inappropriate and just...
Inappropriate.
So you are 42. You acting like you haven't had vagina in forever. Like... Yeah. It's off. Yeah. It's very strange, honey.
But she did an amazing job.
Very good job.
And it's a true skill, to be able to deal with men like this or women like this, but it tends to be men who do this kind of thing. and then not end the date immediately, abruptly, or get into a back and forth, or raise your voice. It's like, all right, cool, check. I'm not messing with this dude.
Hopefully, she was not messing with. Yes, because I see some signs of some people pleasing.
Let me give her the benefit of the doubt right now. But if she somehow ends up even really considering Lamar, that's gonna be a testament to where she's at.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so. All right. So next up, we had Vanessa and William.
And Vanessa has 2 kids, and they're 16 and 5, baby. That's a gap.
That is a gap.
Absolutely. That is a gap.
And that means whoever steps in, they got a job to do for at least the foreseeable future of 15 to 20 years. So. Yeah,
minimum.
But they did seem to be connecting.
Everybody's connecting with William.
Yeah, which is surprising. But Vanessa, if you're in a decent place, and I think William is, I think Chaz is. There's certain people that they're mature, they know how to converse, they don't say the weird stuff or sexual stuff that a Lamar would say. Well, if you do that with a Vanessa, I think you're gonna have a decent conversation,
right?
And I kind of sense that that's the situation there. I'm not saying it's a love at first sight thing. I'm just saying it was a good conversation. There was somewhat of a connection, and I think later on in the season we're gonna see if this could evolve to something.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Again, another person that's attracted to William. But I will say, Mr. Thickums is really holding down these conversations, right? Mm-hmm. And he's presenting well, and he's having like some quality conversations. He's not sexual, and I like it. Honestly. I really do. Vanessa, again, comes off very boring. I hope there's another side to her that's a little bit more exciting. But nonetheless, it was a great conversation. They seem to be vibing. I'm not too sure if she's really interested in him or she's just trying to stay away from the bottom because she was on the bottom last time. So it could be something like that as well.
Right.
But nonetheless, it was cool. Yeah. And William is Williaming again.
Yep.
So and then what else I have on my note? Great conversation. Oh, Lamar comes and interrupts that conversation to talk to Vanessa, and he and Vanessa go in a separate room or whatever, and they have a conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to make her scream.
I think he asked Vanessa to scream.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, you're not as reserved as you say. You come off or something. Yeah. He's like, scream, make some noise, get loud. So everyone say, hey. I'm like,
and again, like, it came off initially. I don't know if this was his intent, sexual. Like, damn, what do you mean scream? Like, this is just so random. I guess.
Take it there, baby. I didn't take it there.
Yeah, I guess because of what he's already been doing, I can't even give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just trying to do something different.
So I really felt, I didn't see sexual, but I did see that he was trying to get her to get loud because she's so reserved. So when he says scream, I kind of felt like he was trying to say, let it out, just kind of scream, relax.
Yes.
Not more sexual, but based on his history, that might be what he was trying to say, scream in a sexual conversation. I don't know.
Who knows?
Nonetheless, Lamar needs to go like ASAP. I hope that he's gone next. Yeah. He's the next one voted out.
Yeah. I really hope so. And I don't see any connection here. I mean, this was just...
definitely not. He's
this was just a conversation.
Hey, you ever see those guys who have boobs and they kind of lean over to kind of hide the boobs? Mm-hmm. I feel like Lamar might have some boobs.
I think
Did you see kind of his posture, kind of like leaned over or hunched over just a little so you can't see the boobs? That's what I feel like. He might have some man boobs, and he has a missing side tooth.
Yes.
Nonetheless.
All right. So the last little sidebar was between Patrice and William. What did you think of that?
Patrice, she's another good, well-rounded person, but I did see some things that she said that made me feel like she's kind of a people pleaser, and maybe not. She's also the same person who says she hasn't been in a relationship for 18 years. Her last relationship was 18 years ago. She said something about driving 45 minutes to go see a man. And I'm like, no, there's nothing. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, but you shouldn't always be doing that. I feel like if you're dating, the guy should come see you. And I was like, is that something that you're used to? Are you not used to a man kind of like treating you like a lady and you're driving 45 minutes to go see this man. I hope he's driving 45 minutes to see you as well. Did you catch that, baby?
I did. That was I mean, at that age, how old is she?
She's 40. She's in her 40s.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you would even consider driving to a man 45 minutes, what are you doing? Like, you gotta ask yourself, should I even be doing this kind of thing? You know? So that just tells me she may, and I get it. I know it's hard out there. I know, we all have certain partners and expectations of a particular partner, but at the end of the day, if you're not finding that don't mean you gotta lower your bar.
She lowered it. She's driving 45 minutes away.
Absolutely.
She gave me people pleasing vibes, babe.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the date with her and William.
Oh, it was a good date.
Yeah, it was a good date.
And she even said there was a connection.
She said she would peel him like a banana.
Yeah, that was.
I would not want to peel them thighs, baby. William is thighs, baby. His thighs are thicker than my thighs, and I can't date a man when he walks away. He's thicker than me. Body looks like mine. Like, I can't. I just can't.
Right.
But he's a really nice guy. I just don't think I can overlook some of those things. But clearly, some of these women can.
Yeah, but these women are doing what you're supposed to do in this process. If the conversation is healthy, you don't have Lamar type comments coming out,
right,
then you entertain it, right?
Yeah, entertain it. But when she said she would peel him like a banana,
yeah,
maybe,
that I just do
she
not.
sounded like she was interested.
But she seemed connected to this dude. I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But we'll see. We'll see
she's
what
also
happens.
The same person that's connected to Alonzo immature behind. I don't know, baby. Patrice, yeah. I think I'm gonna see some things this season about Patrice, but she's gonna be here to stay because these men loving on Patrice, and I'm glad. I think Patrice made everybody feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nonetheless, carry on.
So that concluded that little situation.
Next scene, we have Luron and Patrice go on a date. Patrice looks amazing with that pink dress. She looks very pretty. Luron, you already know I don't like him. Handsome guy, but I think he was very rude to Patrice. Patrice is very sweet. I can understand he may not have been attracted to her, and that's what I got. But he did not need to be rude like that. But what you think, baby?
How was he rude, though?
Kind of like dismissive, just kind of like, oh, this catfish is good, and she's asking him questions, and he keep talking about the catfish. You know?
I do. Agree.
Yeah, I thought it was a little rude. Like,
yeah,
I didn't like that. And I don't think she deserved that. She's such a sweet person, and even when somebody oversteps, Patrice still know how to look at the positive side of them. You know, she's a very sweet person, from what I can see. I'm sure she's putting it on for the camera, but she's doing a good job.
Yeah. I definitely sense that he's just really not interested like that. I think he said it in the confessional. It is very dismissive when you're tearing up some catfish and keep bringing up how great the catfish is and having maybe long periods of time without even speaking.
Right, and she's asking questions. She's trying to, pull some conversation out of you, and you're just kind of like, this catfish is good. It's kind of rude.
Yeah, it's also, no offense, it's kind of a fat boy approach to the dinner.
I don't like that.
It's like, yo, okay, we get it. The catfish is good, but you're here on a date, and she's asking you questions. And if nothing else, I get it. You might not be interested.
Cool.
So what? I mean, you still show her respect. You still have a decent conversation. Don't be dismissive. And I feel like that's what we saw there. I also don't think that she's interested either. She didn't really show anything. Of course, she was doing what she needed to do. She's playing along with the process. Again, we pointed this out earlier. She has an ability to, regardless of what the situation is and what the person is saying, okay, cool. We're going to still keep it cordial here. We're going to get past this date. But boom, you checked off the list. And that's what I feel like is the case here. So I don't see this as a connection at
all. And then the partying, like, sir, I don't think he belongs on this show. Like, he's trying to, he said something about, she said, oh, so you're trying to get out your system. He is like, no, I'm looking for a reason to stop partying. Like, it has to be a woman that he meets to get him to stop partying. Right. He's just very immature. And honestly, again, this slim pickings for the ladies. I feel so bad for them. These guys are very, Very, very poor quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have much to say about him. I just hope he gets this eliminated pretty quick. Like I said, I did feel like he's attractive. He's got a cute face, but his personality disgusts me, y'all. And I just hope he's eliminated soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have anything else to add?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Do you think he's like immature? What do you think about his personality, honey?
No, I mean, the guy goes out Wednesday to Sunday.
He just changed it to Tuesday to Sunday.
Exactly. And he's not really. What have we heard from him that was actually, a true quality of what he brings to the table? Nothing. I haven't heard a single thing. So the women are checking for this stuff. They're asking the questions. I haven't heard any answer that it has impressed me in any way. And then we just saw his ability to dismiss somebody, rather than just kind of check that person off the list in his mind, and then still have a great date and respect the person across the table from you. He clearly doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have nothing more to say.
Yeah, with him. I'm done.
Yep.
All right, so next up we have Jonathan and April. They went to a burger spa for their date, and man, it was not a good date. I will say that.
It was not.
Baby, what you thought about it?
Yes. Well, all right. So we had already talked about how April, I think that the date that she had, or the interaction that she had with Lamar, she turned the questioning into more of an interview style. I get it. She wants answers to her questions, and she's not going to back off of it. I respect that, but man, sometimes the approach is everything. And so, she very quickly got into that mode with Jonathan again, like, still trying to get these answers about his previous relationship situation, his ex-wife and all that. And I get it. This is a valid question here. The whole process of this show is to really get to know someone and know if this could truly be your connection. And so these are valid questions, but she started pressing again, and she does it in, it's funny because I don't even know that she knows how she comes off, It's like her body language, her facial gestures is so direct, so strong.
Nothing is soft, nothing is easy, nothing is light as a feather. It's just so strong, so direct, so like, and it's so off-putting, baby. I'll be so turned off.
Yes.
But I understand her question. I'm not saying her question is wrong. It's her delivery.
The delivery is everything.
It's horrible.
And then she said, in her relationship, or at least her previous relationship, if she was pinned up against a wall or backed into a corner, she'll come out with the guns. It's like, whoa. So and what that would tell me is what I'm seeing, this energy that I'm getting now, you think this is bad? Get on her wrong side. Hit the wrong button and forget it. So again, she's scary, baby. She's scary, yeah. So of course, Jonathan, in true Jonathan style, I have no interest in this woman, and he lets it be known, not to her specifically, but in the confessional, and he checks out.
Maybe the thing about Jonathan, honey, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No problem.
But the thing about Jonathan, you can see the check-offness on his face, baby. His face says it all. He's like, he checks out. And if y'all pay attention to Jonathan, he quickly looks at the camera, like he got like staring at the camera really quick, like a quick glance.
Yes.
And you can see that he's just like, nope, I'm done. That's his cue. Like, I'm done. I'm not interested.
Not interested at all. So, long story short, there's no connection here. There will not be a connection. And April just may not get the answers that she wants. I know how pressed she is to get these specific answers about his past relationship and this, that. She ain't going to get it.
She's just so serious, baby. It's just like, girl, chill, squad. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't think that's the way. I hope that she rewatches this and see herself on TV to see how she's coming off, because this is not good at all. And rightfully so. She was kicked off.
I agree.
All right, so the men are in the men's lounge for the first time, and they're discussing the ladies. Side note, William was actually dressed pretty nice. Baby, did you see Williams with his little shoes, brown shoes,
his cowboy boots?
Yeah, he was actually kind of dressed nice. Them thighs are thighs in though, but he was dressed nice. But nothing. My man's yawning, y'all. Baby, why you yawning?
Tired, baby.
He's tired. Okay, let's get this scene done. All right, yeah. So, and they just started discussing the ladies, and one thing in common is that a lot of people like Patrice. And like I said, Patrice have a way of making the men, although she's not interested, she still have a way of just meeting them where they're at. And so she has everybody liking her, including Lamar. Everybody put her at the top. And at the bottom, of course, is April. We knew that. We knew last week that we thought April was going to be at the bottom if they were voting off women, or 2 weeks ago. So almost everybody chose April as their bottom. Nobody chose her as the top. And Lamar was so rude, baby.
So rude.
Yeah. What you thought about the men's lounge, Johnny?
So nothing here was surprising. Mm-hmm. It's exactly as I expected. April, in my mind, has always been a front runner to get eliminated. Mm-hmm. And then Koshia, with her kind of that energy that she gives off, that direct nature. And so, 9 times out of 10, when women, at least on this show in general, but on this show in particular, since this is what we focused on, exhibit that type of direct, strong behavior, comments that kind of like concern you, like, whoa, pinned up against a wall and I'm bringing guns out. You're like, that they're one step. First of all, there's a controlling behavior to that as well. It's kind of like needing it to be exactly how they want it in the conversation. Inability to adapt, right? You're dealing with numerous people, different personalities, characteristics, traits. You have to adjust. Show the ability to adjust and adapt to the person that you're dealing with. And by the way, you could check out within the first 2 minutes of conversation. But that doesn't mean that you have to come off the way April and Koshia are coming off. And not surprisingly, they're on the chopping block.
And it's always the women that's educated, baby. For some reason, the higher the degree, the more, I don't like using the word aggressive, but they used it, the more like direct and kind of like, why are they like that?
I don't know.
And yeah, I'm degreed up. But I still, like, I don't present like somebody who's like always leading with my education and what I have. And I don't know. I think it's kind of strange.
Well,
but I do notice a lot of women do that.
Yeah, I don't want to sidetrack here because this is a whole conversation in itself.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is I'm educated, I'm well versed, I've been there and done that, and so you almost start from a place of knowing, or at least you believe you are, more so than the person that you're dealing with, and therefore even subconsciously you're coming off in a way like you're on the soapbox and you're talking down to people, like, because you know more, and it really comes off and what's crazy is a lot of times it's not intentional. It's just kind of what you've become.
Right.
So it's incumbent upon you to be self-aware of that type of behavior.
Right.
And then look, sometimes you got to dumb yourself down a little bit. I'm not saying that you're doing it because you want to be with this person. You're dumbing yourself down just so that the conversation can stay cordial. Neutral. You're not going to upset anybody. Because at the end of the day, you've checked this person off the list. You're going to move on. And now you no longer have to consider this person.
Right.
And you also won't be the main topic of discussion when everybody gets together to discuss, who needs to be eliminated. Everybody's pretty much saying the exact same thing.
Right. But babe, why did Lamar talk about padding on April? I didn't see any padding, so I'm actually going to go back and look. I didn't see any padding. Is he saying that she had hips and butt padding?
I think, put it this way, when he said that, the first thing that I recalled was the red leather shorts, I think they were leather, that she had at the mixer in the beginning. And I'm like, damn, they did seem a little bit thick. Now, maybe this is just some high-quality leather from Italy, or it's some padding. Okay, I don't know.
Fresh off the cow. Move. Yeah. No, but you saw padding. He's saying she had the padding. So when he said padding, did you mean padding boobs, padding butt?
Oh, no. I think it was the shorts. You're going to see it with them shorts.
I'm going to go back and look. Yeah. Did y'all see padding? If y'all seen padding or some extra thickness, let me know. But that was Lamar. He said the girl with the padding. I was like, ooh, but I didn't see the padding. If there was padding there to me, I didn't see it. But it's actually embarrassing. I hope he didn't see anything. Ugh.
Yeah, we're going to have to see.
Yeah, we got to go back and check that out.
But we're going to move on.
Yeah.
To the date between Lamar and April.
Yeah, so that was the elimination date.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So now the elimination date. So it's
April
and Lamar, and then Alonzo and Koshia. Yeah. Do y'all realize that April and Koshia have a very similar personality? You notice that, baby?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. They're very tough women. I'm scared of them, baby. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared of them too, ladies. But nonetheless, what do you think, honey?
I mean, so firstly, no surprises. No. Both of them on the chopping block. Mm-hmm. Absolute consistency between the two with respect to how they are direct. Ain't no wiggle room there to deal with anybody. I mean, it's just their way. I hate to say it. It's this my way or the highway mentality. But let's just talk about April first and Lamar. So April hears that the majority of the men don't believe she's ready to love. And what does she do? Come back with a response like, okay, well, you know what? They just ain't ready for me. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a boss, B-I-T-C-H.
I'll say for you. Boss bitch.
Yeah. And that tells you right there, like, here you are on a show. 8 different men. I get it. Not the highest quality, not the best caliber. But so what? They all came to a similar conclusion. And yet you still walk away not even acknowledging that, damn, you know, this could be me in some way, you know. And I promise you, if she never comes to that realization, it's going to be hard. Yeah. All right? She's never going to find the type of person she wants. And by the way, what she's going to end up doing is finding a person that she could walk all over, that she could behave in this manner, and the man just accepts it. But guess what? She's going to be dissatisfied with that because that's not a real man. You understand? So it's unfortunate, but, you know, it was kind of predictable.
Yeah. I agree with you, baby. Those two, that's the dog snoring, y'all, if y'all hear him. But nonetheless, I agree with you, honey. April she's a lot, baby. She's a lot. Don't get me wrong. Lamar rude as hell. We don't like him. He's not a great man. He actually needs to get kicked off the show. He's not a good representation of black men. He's rude. He's disrespectful.
Actually, he's the worst person to deliver that news.
Yeah, and you know they're being shady to put him on a date with April.
Absolutely. After he said she had padded booty. That ain't right.
Yeah, and I know he was happy to kick her off because, you know, he already didn't like her. Right. But yeah, it was a lot. I mean, honestly, I think they sent the right person home. I think April didn't really have anything to offer. Yeah, she's degreed. She's a pharmacist. She probably makes good money. You know, she seems like she's in decent shape for her age. But that's just all surface stuff. Deeper than that, I think April, and I'm not even a man, y'all. But I wouldn't even dare her. She seems boring as hell.
Yes.
Right? So rightfully so, she left. So let's talk about Koshia and
Alonzo.
Yeah.
So I think Koshia and Alonzo, obviously coming into that elimination date, they already had some tension. Absolutely. And we found out that was a question that Alonzo had asked her about being choked or spanked. Which definitely inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
Especially if, you know, if it was a page out of Lamar's book, right? Completely out of context. Nothing sexual was being discussed. And then you bring something up like that. And by the way, you know, personal question. Like, you know, if it's in the context of sex and that's the conversation, valid. If it's not, that's not your business.
Right.
And so that already was kind of, the background before the date even happened, right? Now, as far as like her being on a chopping block, we already knew, similar to what we just said with April. People are picking up on that energy. She's very direct, somewhat guarded. And that always shows.
Who do you think is worse, Koshia or April?
So here's what's interesting. So I believe Koshia wasn't eliminated, possibly because the producers just felt that she could bring more fireworks than April can.
But she's also prettier than April, baby.
She is.
So I think the men, because of that, she's going to get a little upper hand.
Absolutely.
Because of that.
But she was getting no more love than April was.
Yeah, you're right.
When the men were so it could be, and I believe, she is probably a little bit more aggressive than April will be if you set her off. That's what I believe.
Another thing is that Koshia had at least one person checking for her, which is Luron. April, absolutely no one like
no one. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That is another thing. But they're both they're tough cookies. But I do feel like Koshia would eat you alive. She does not play. I'm scared of Koshia.
Yeah.
She does not play.
Now what I will say, to give her some credit here in that date with or that elimination date with Alonso, is that she rightfully felt that her intelligence was being insulted.
Yeah, he's gaslighting.
Yeah. I mean, even at the end, like, and that just tells you how petty he was, right? They got past the tension, somewhat, and then focused on, the discussion at hand, which is the elimination of blah, blah, blah. And then he had to come back. He just had to come back and say, well, you didn't afford me the opportunity by asking me if that was sexual in nature. It's like,
stop.
Come on, bro. Everybody who hears that would feel that was sexual in nature. Period.
How else could you spin it though? Sexual, like,
so
what he said, spank or choked.
Yeah. Choked.
How else could you spin that if it's not sexual? Yes. Let me know in the comments below. How else could you spin that?
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of just walking up and rushing out of a restaurant. But in the context of this situation, after she had already said what she said, and then he brought it back up, you can get up and just leave the restaurant.
Yeah, she's because
this dude is petty, and he's not taking any accountability for what he did.
This man is very immature, y'all. Yeah. Stay away from these kind of guys.
Yes.
He's 35 and asking these 20-year-old questions.
It's stupid.
Yeah. I'm done with him. Yeah. But nonetheless, y'all, April's gone. This is about to be a lit season as far as drama. I don't know if there's going to be love, but drama is coming.
Yeah, and I have a feeling Koshia is going to be part of that drama.
Well, we saw in the preview that Koshia is going to be part of that problem. So. But nonetheless, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We had a great time filming it. We are looking forward to this season because there's a lot of tea. Yeah. Anything you want to add, baby?
Nothing else. It was a great episode. We'll be back next week. We're going to try to stay consistent here, dropping these videos the day after. But we need you all to, hit the like button, subscribe, share, okay?
Yeah, just do something. Even if you don't subscribe, just hit the like button. If you're watching it, just hit the like button, please.
Yeah.
Okay? Anyways, you guys, y'all have an excellent evening. And on that note, TND is out. All right, y'all.